Welcome to the Bullits and Bourbon podcast, where it's not about the bourbon, but more about who you share it with.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bullits Bourbon episode 21. We're a day late, mostly because we're getting old and yard work hurts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so do a little bit of yard work and it put us out of commission last night, so we're making up for it today though. So as promised, we put out a poll midweek and we were going to do a Scotch episode. And this is new for us. A disclaimer out there: we're not Scotch experts. Scotch is what do we call it, like a novelty love for me.
For us, I mean, you're walking me into it, so it's something new for me. But
we thought it'd be fun to kind of mix it up a little bit, and we'll talk a little bit of Scotch and kind of the very basics. But the winner of the Scotch kind of vote off was the Balvenie Double Wood 12, which was kind of no surprise. I had a feeling it was going to end up like that, unfortunately.
Really?
I wanted something different. But hey, we can always do
put it out there.
Yeah. So Balvenie it is. The Double Wood. This is a Speyside single malt Scotch. For those that don't really understand the Scotch world, you have 6 regions or 5. I think there's some argument there. You have Speyside, you have the Highland region, you have the Islay region, you have the Campbelltown region, and then you have the Island region. But the Island region kind of gets left off a little bit, and we can talk more about those regions. This is from the Speyside region, which is where a lot of the ones that you like a lot, like
the Delmores and everything else.
The Highlands and the Speysides, most people really enjoy because they're not the peaty, the high peat kind of dark fired, smoky Scotches that are out there. That doesn't mean that they don't do peat. There is Balvenie does make a peated Scotch single malt that's outstanding, but it's not their foray, so to speak. So, I don't know when the last time you've had this. Has it been a while?
Probably over a year, easy.
Okay.
Because I usually gravitate towards the Delmore, some of the Glenlivet's, some of the other stuff. Not so much the Balvenie.
Well, hit it up. Let's do this. Let's do the one sip challenge on it, and give me your thoughts, and we'll kind of go from there. And let's just keep it simple because Scotch is complex.
Oh wow, that's smooth. That's really smooth.
Almost like silk.
That's really, really good.
Mm-hmm. What flavor note did you pick up?
I mean, you can taste the oak, obviously, but maybe like a caramel.
Yeah, I can see that. A butterscotch for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of flavor notes kind of hitting me right now.
That's good.
Yeah, it's hard to. So on the nose, I pick up fruit, plum, fig, red cherries. Not the kind that are in the jar that are really fun to just pop in your mouth when you're really hungry, but like real red cherries. Yeah. The palate, I get like a graham cracker, butterscotch, honeyish.
Okay, I could taste that like honey graham cracker type
almost like
flavor.
A sugar cookie to a degree.
Yes.
Try to think what else. A little bit of vanilla. The fruit that I get on the nose, I don't taste as much on the palate. But the fruit is a little, it is present. But that plum that I get on the nose, I don't get on the palate, which is fine. I mean, it makes it, it's enjoyable either way. The finish, though, I will say the mouthfeel is, you say smooth. That was the first
kind of thing. Yeah, it's very, very smooth.
It's almost like silky in the mouth. It's really just kind of coats. It's not super oily, but it's not dry. It doesn't
stick to the roof. It just slides right down.
Yep.
Jesus.
We're there.
Yeah, already.
The finish is medium. It's not a long finish. It's not a short finish. It's kind of right in that little sweet spot. I get a lot of butterscotch. The dominant word for this to me would be butterscotch and graham cracker and plum. If I had 3 words to describe it. I've always liked Balvenies. But Balvenie shot up in price. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It got. So I affectionately call Balvenies the the Buffalo Trace of the Scotch world.
Yeah.
Because that was the behavior pattern, right? Like it was.
What would you say would be the Balvenie or the Macallan? Because I would argue the Macallan would be the Buffalo Trace of the Scotch world.
Well,
because you talk to people that don't even drink Scotch,
and they always talk about Macallan.
Macallan.
So maybe I would call Macallans the Wellers of the Scotch world, and I would call Balvenie the Blantons of the Scotch world, only because these prices shot up enormously.
Okay.
So it used to be you could get this bottle, and some of you that are into Scotch that are listening, you could get this bottle for $38, and then when I replaced this bottle last time, I think it was $78.
Oh wow,
that's a huge markup.
Yeah, that's a.
Now, I mean, for $78, is it still worth it? For this, the way that I drink Scotch, I completely think it is. Scotch to me is a relaxing sipper. I don't tend to drink it as fast as I do,
bourbon.
I mean,
beer, yeah.
So maybe we should start drinking Scotch pregame, and then we don't have a disastrous drunken episode like we did a couple episodes ago. But still, be that as it may, at the time that this was going up in price, the Dalmore 12 and they were much cheaper.
They were staying consistent.
Now Dalmore is they've traded spots.
Yeah.
So the Dalmore, people found out, wow, Dalmore is amazing.
Yeah.
Arbor, the Dalmore, Glenlivet has thankfully kind of stayed, kind of center of the road. But I remember I could get a bottle of the Founder's Reserve Glenlivet, which is a great daily drinker, and it was $36, and it went to $54. So I think there's one part inflation, two part that the whole mystique of the Balvenie is the Buffalo Trace or the Blantons of the Scotch world. Now with that said, I still really, really, really like the Balvenie. I think it is. In the Scotch world, it's probably one of my top 10.
Yeah.
Not this particular one, although this is very good. There are others that are out there that are just friggin' divine.
Yeah.
In my book, highly recommend. This is a great one to start off with. This is easy to find. The 12 you can pick up in most liquor stores. Probably at that sweet spot between 50 to 70, depending on where you're at. If you're lucky enough to be in the military or have access to military, the Class 6 or PX, these run about, $55. So it's a good deal, tax-free. And normally they'll have more than one kind of iteration of the Balvenie out there.
Yeah.
And I say just pick them up and try them. Would I say this is better than the Dalmore of 12? What do you think? Is that hard?
For me, I'm a huge Dalmore fan, so of course I'm going to go with the Dalmore 12. Just because that's my daily sipper if I'm sipping Scotch.
It'd be fun to do a Scotch blind
of
12. Take those in. Well, we can't use the Highland Park because the Highland Park is the peaty one.
Yeah.
You'd pick that one out. But to do let us know, guys, if you want us to do a Scotch blind. We'll blind Dan on the 12-year-old Scotches to see which one his true favorite is. It's always fun to do blinds because you never know what you're going to get. You know, especially... if you haven't had it in a while, this has probably been about a year.
Yeah, easy. Maybe a little longer than a year, to be honest. Yeah.
And I mean, it's very enjoyable. But I wonder if you pair it next to the Dalmore and the Arbor 12. What else we got? The Glenlivet 12, maybe. Go with the Glenfiddich 12 or the Macallan 12 or the Glenmorangie 12. You put them next to each other. Hell, that's a big board. But which one would you really prefer out of all of those as your top one?
No.
So just something to think about, guys. Again, the Balvenie Doublewood 12. If you're interested in other Balvenies, I have a couple more that are really, really good. So this is the Balvenie, the Sweet Toast of American Oak.
And that's what I want to try next when we're off air.
Yeah. So this is a really good bottle. It's not the easiest bottle to find necessarily, but if you search it out, you can find a couple places overseas that do ship. Really enjoyable and quite affordable. I do recommend, though, if you're going to be ordering from overseas, don't just buy one bottle, buy two or three. That way your shipping costs are cut, and it makes it worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, we've kind of found that out the hard way, trial and error. But this is the Balvenie American Toast of American Oak. Really good bottle. Another one that are just really really good is this is one of my favorites. This is the Balvenie Caribbean Cask, 14-year. It's matured in rum casks, and I love this barrel. This was probably, be quite honest, this is the one that got me into Scotch again. Was this particular one? I don't know the price off the top of my head. I think it sits around about $100.
Okay,
but I mean
that's still not bad.
No, I mean it's well worth it
for a 14-year. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, and then the last one is the Golden Cask. It's a 14-year. This is also done in rum casks as well. It is a bit different though. It's not as rum dominant. Is that a word?
I'd say rum dominant.
And these are both 14 years old, and they're both just delicious to drink. They're great sippers. I've found that the Balvenies are pretty much like the Gerber multi-tool with cigars. I don't ever have a bad cigar when I'm drinking a Balvenie, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Like they pair well. I mean, not that I have like a huge amount of knowledge that on cigars, but I'm getting educated slowly. You know what I mean? So, hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and we'll put another poll up. We're hoping. What do we want to do for the next?
We'll figure it out. We'll talk afterwards.
Yeah, if you guys hit us up, if you have an idea, shoot us some brands of some whiskey that you're interested in, and we'll pull them out, and we'll put up the poll for the midweek episode. We want to try to hit what you guys want. There were a couple comments that were really kind of super excited about the Scotch. I appreciate that, and we'll do a Scotch again if they want to do Scotch again, or we can do an exclusive rye.
Yeah.
Or do a just American whiskey or American single malt as well. I mean, whatever you guys really want us to hit up. I mean, we're game to drink it, I think.
Yeah. You don't got to twist my arm on that.
I mean, school's out, so we can just do it. You know what I mean? Speaking of school being out, first day of summer. Was today the first day of summer?
No. I don't. I think we got like a couple more days before we actually hit the official first day of summer.
So our kids.
Your kids. I have no kids.
Our kids. My kids got out yesterday, and Jennifer, Dulce and Dog Tags is her IG handle. Go check out our IG handle. They do something special every year for kids getting out, and they just they make a real spectacle of embarrassing the kids, which I love it. I think it's hysterical. But today we felt the full force of summer being here, and the kids already doing what kids of that age group do, which was pure and absolute obnoxious boys. Yeah. I mean, what was it? Milo was singing Burn It Down by Parker McCollum at the top of his lungs for 3 hours straight while I was in the backyard trying to burn wood, screaming it. Like, I'm just like, burn me down, dude, at this point. And I just thought to myself, man, God bless every teacher that exists, because I don't know how you do it for, the majority of the year.
Yeah, a good 9 months.
Yeah. But what's funny with Milo, we found out, like, we like to joke around with Milo. We call him nearly feral, right?
Nearly feral, yeah.
And he's a wrecking ball. Like, the kid is just a million miles an hour. He's funny. He always manages to get out of trouble with that little kind of sweet smile he's got. But then we talked to his teacher, and she's like, "Oh, he's the best. He's the best student. He's so quiet and pays attention and so organized." We're like, "Whoa, you got the wrong kid." Like, you sure you got the right kid? Like, "Oh no, look at his desk." And we go over to his desk, and like every pen is like OCD. Every pen has a place. And we're like, "This little SOB." This dude comes home and there's a shoe in one area and like one's up in the chandelier, and he clothes everywhere, his dirt's all over his face like he was a groundhog and chased one into a hole. He's like pure animal. But at school, oh, Milo's the sweet. Like, shut up. This kid has y'all fooled, straight up fooled. But
speaking about being fooled, I used to love fooling my parents when I was a kid. When you didn't get your homework done. Oh, I got a tummy ache. I don't feel well.
Did you ever do the thermometer thing when you held up to the light?
Oh, yeah.
Mom's like, you're running 187 degree fever?
Oh, yeah. But it was great. Like I love that time. You know, I think we all look back and absolutely love those days because, you know, you'd lay downstairs on the couch with mom and watch nothing but the game shows.
The game shows. I remember the game shows and the soap operas.
Yeah, the soap operas.
I couldn't stand the soap operas.
I couldn't stand the soap operas, but the game shows. I used to love watching Price is Right with my mom.
Who was that with the Price is Right? Bob Barker.
Bob Barker.
Is he passed away?
Yeah, I think he passed away. You know, he handed that off to Drew Carey, but now you know you got Pat Sajak from Wheel of Fortune.
That's the big one.
He just finished his last episode yesterday.
That's nuts to me.
And he's been doing that since 1982. Which is insane. What's even more insane, he kept Vanna White on all those years. He never upgraded to a newer model. You know, Vanna White 67 is still, you know, elegant as can be. She's turning letters and everything else. But for him to stand by and keep her for the 40 plus years they were on air is just remarkable.
Is that what you were reading about when we were outside?
Yeah.
So what I thought was always interesting about I never understood this about the game shows. I always thought, like, man, what a horrible job that would be, right? Because when you were the receiver, you're just seeing there's an episode every single day, except for what, Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
And I'm like, man, I wouldn't want that job. Like, I don't want to work every day. I didn't realize,
They do multiple episodes a day.
Yeah.
That's like I said, like my mom was on Wheel of Fortune back in the day.
Get out of here.
Yeah, so my mom was on Wheel of Fortune back in the day, and this is mid-'80s, I want to say. It was when Wheel of Fortune had 2 episodes a day. They had the daytime episode and the evening. But the daytime was a little bit different because, like, if you won the puzzle and won money, they had, like, a little shopping center, and you had to, like, spend that money in the shopping center and buy whatever. So anytime you're on a game show or TV, you sign these non-disclosure acts where you can't talk about it until the episode actually airs. So we didn't know if my mom won, if she lost, whatever. She wouldn't tell us because she had that NDA.
She would tell her family.
You think she would, right?
Yeah, I would have.
So, you know, we're in school and it's the daytime episode right in the afternoon. So, you know, all the teachers, all the kids knew my mom was on Wheel of Fortune. So it was all hyped up. Everybody, you know, your mom's going to be on TV. So they willed that, you know, remember the big AV cart with the TV on? So they willed that thing in and turned on Wheel of Fortune for class to watch my mom on Wheel of Fortune, which was great. All those kids were
you were BMOC, right? Big man on campus.
Oh,
right
yeah, I was big man on campus. But man, I wish my mom would have told me she lost. Kids are brutal. Brutal. My mom hit bankrupt so many times. I think she won like one puzzle and that was it. And but I remember just kids are vicious, just being mocked by kids. Like, your mom's a loser. Your mom's so poor she can't buy a vowel. Just brutal. I was like, Mom, why'd you put me through that?
You just slinked in your chair.
Oh,
like, son
yeah.
of a bitch, man. Yeah.
So it was brutal, but, you know, she had a good experience. And a couple years later, they came back around. She had a tryout for Family Week. And my cousin actually got selected for Family Week. They did Family Week, actually kicked ass and
raked it in,
which is pretty cool. So what was some of your favorite game shows growing up as a kid?
So I remember watching Wheel of Fortune. I mean, that was the easy one, right? Because it used to be like at 7 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah, 7 o'clock.
Jeopardy, that was the other one.
Oh, you were a brain. I hated Jeopardy because I didn't know shit as a kid. So it's like, I don't get this.
Well, yeah. And then you remember when Saturday Night Live used to parody Jeopardy and they used to put the dude on looking like Sean Connery?
Yeah.
It was hysterical for me. So those two, there was one, it wasn't the Price is Right. It was a different one. And I can't remember the name of it now.
It's the one with the whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
I don't remember.
Press Your Luck.
Maybe it was that.
Now, I love Press Your Luck with that whammy. You got to see how greedy people really were.
I think it was. But those were the only ones that I can remember. You know, I mean, you know, if you talk about like great, you know, it was a whole era though. Like Pat Sajak, Alec Trebek, and then it was like you had
Bob Barker, Price is Right.
And then, but then you had I feel like you had great sitcoms.
Well, you had great sitcoms, but then you had so many good game shows. There was that Win, Lose, or Draw. You remember that one?
Yeah. Oh,
where you had to draw on the board, And then there's the $25,000 pyramid. I like that one because you had to get people to get to the word.
What was the one where you had the comedians and they had to act out?
Whose line is it anyways with Drew Carey?
That's the one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah,
it really wasn't a game show, but it was still
funny.
It was still funny as hell. But it's interesting. Like the game shows, like really lost their, you know what I mean, pizzazz. Because in the '80s, that's what it was all about. The game shows, and then the '90s, say late '90s, early 2000s. You remember Fear Factor?
Yeah, I do remember Fear Factor. That was
Fear Factor with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it. Like the spiders and snakes.
See, I can do the spiders or snakes, but some of the food, I don't know.
Oh, I can do the food. If it's edible?
No, like some of the gross food that they had, like spider eggs that you had to eat.
No, that's different. That's spiders. I probably couldn't do it. I probably would have tanked that. It just doesn't, I think what happened was the shift went to Survivor.
Yeah, Survivor.
And those type of things.
All the reality shows.
Yeah, and it's just kind of, maybe it just wasn't my my thing, but like I just remember there was a distinct difference between that era of kind of the golden game show and then the sitcoms like Miami Vice, the Cosby Show.
Oh yeah,
and
Growing Pains, Boy Meets World.
What was the one with the two twins? Bob Saget.
Oh, you're talking not Family Matters, Full House.
Full House, right? And then you had the one with Urkel and stuff on
Family Matters.
Family Matters, right? So because remember it was
TGIF Fridays.
TGIF Fridays, yeah. So and then you had the dawn of Seinfeld and what was it? Friends, and that was like that was the gold standard, right?
Yeah.
And then somewhere along the line in the mid 2000s, kind of like they had it back for a bit with Big Bang Theory. I love Big
Bang Theory was, but it lost that like that family night almost. You know what I mean?
Because
that Friday night family night where you had TGIF and all those family friendly sitcoms where it didn't matter how old you were, you could sit down, watch it with your parents and enjoy it. But now I don't think there's any out there.
I don't know. I just remember that out of nowhere it became NCIS, every city in America, and Criminal Minds, every city in America.
Yes.
And then it was Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago Police, Chicago Dentist, Chicago, gynecology. Like they were just coming up with the same.
It's like Hollywood lost their creativity.
You remember NYPD Blue? Remember?
Yeah, NYPD Blue.
That was dope.
But then like. Was it FX? I want to say that has
Shield.
You knew exactly where I was going. Vic Mackey.
Yeah, and Rescue Me with Dennis Leary.
Okay. See, I didn't get into Rescue Me. I was a huge Shield fan.
Yeah, the Shield was awesome. I remember when the Shield ended, I was like, man, we're not going to see another show like that in a while. And then out of nowhere, Sons of Anarchy came up.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's dope. One of the ones, what was the one? Breaking Bad. I still have never seen an episode of Breaking Bad.
Oh my goodness, you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah, I just completely.
You need to sit down and binge Breaking Bad. It's on Netflix.
I know. It just kind of one of those things that just passed me by, and I was like, damn it, I kind of missed out on that whole episode. But
that's like you remember 24?
Yeah,
Jack Bauer.
I had to go back and watch them all.
Yeah, that's another good show.
Yeah.
24 was great.
But they were never on there was never like a Friday night,
Yeah, they were all midweek. You didn't have that family night where the family got around the TV, just vegged
Ours
out.
was Big Bang. Like I remember because at the time we were in Germany.
Okay.
And so we would, I don't remember how the hell we watched these things. Maybe we downloaded them off of like one of the Rip It sites.
Yeah.
But I remember watching Big Bang and like, man, this is great. And then it finally ended and it was like, damn, I don't think anything's come along like that.
I think before Big Bang, you had How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that. I don't know. I wasn't a big How I Met Your Mother. It was funny at times, But
Barney, come on.
Well, Barney was cool.
Neil Patrick Harris character.
Anything
was legendary.
He does is funny. Like the other day, I watched Blast from the Past, Starship Troopers.
Okay, yeah.
Jennifer had never seen Starship Troopers, and she was like, "This has got to be the stupidest thing I've ever watched." And I'm like, "It is." Don't disrespect Starship Troopers. It was great.
Yeah.
And Neil Patrick Harris is like the admiral.
Oh yeah.
You got little Johnny.
Well, have you ever watched Harold and Kumar?
I love Harold and Kumar.
With Neil Patrick Harris in there.
Yeah. That's a blast from the past. Go to White Castle.
Go to
Guantanamo.
Yeah.
That might be one of the greatest kind of like. Oh man, we had so many good ones. I can't even say that. Like, you remember the mid '90s, the late '90s. You had American Pie, but American Pie is not what I'm thinking about. It's the one. No, it was American Pie, right?
Yeah, with Stifler's mom.
Stifler's mom. Yeah. I was. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and you had like those teen kind of like high school graduation rom-com.
Yeah,
not rom-com, but like just kind of
like
coming of age
movies.
Yeah.
You had Dazed and Confused.
Classic.
You had not Friday Night Lights, the Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues. There's something there was one with Jennifer Love Hewitt in it, and I remember because part of it's like the guy talking to her is like a man, duh.
Yeah.
And it had the dude that would later be on that movie with Mark Wahlberg, and where they were the thieves, they were the professional thieves. He was the real computer hacker or whatever they call him. The funny kid. He tried to like dress like he was a gangster rapper. God damn it.
I don't even know what movie you're talking about.
Man, I got to find this now.
But I'm just disappointed though. There hasn't been any TV shows or movies that are just you could watch over and over.
Yeah. No.
Because I can still watch Varsity Blues over and over again.
Something About Mary, but that's not the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. So there's that one, and then Prison Break. You remember Prison Break?
I do. Yeah. Prison Break was pretty good. Yeah. I didn't stick with it.
No,
sadly,
man, Prison Break was a phenomenal series.
Remember X-Files? X-Files was dope.
I wish they'd reboot X-Files.
Well, they talked about it.
Because they did the movies for X-Files, but, with all the conspiracy theories and everything else in the news with UFOs, like, if I was Hollywood, I would
jump. All they do is recycle shit anyway.
Yeah, I would completely reboot it. Get a whole new like Agent Mulder, new storyline. But keep it with the X-Files, and you could. I mean, the quality with HD and HK and whatever now.
HK,
8K, whatever I don't know. But you know what I mean with the quality now, when the CDI and everything that they can do.
AI now in the movies.
Yeah. I mean that'd be a number one watch show if they would do the X-Files.
They're rebooting a number of one, which is sometimes it's frustrating, right? Because it feels like almost that Hollywood has no original thought.
Yeah.
Anymore, like they just
gave
just
up.
A bunch of boners and they just gave up.
Yeah.
And also I've noticed too, like we suffered kind of like a lull period where that whole Writers Guild strike, happened.
Yeah.
And
that's how Big Bang got so big, because there was that writer's strike during Big Bang.
Yeah.
And then the TV networks were just pushing reruns of Big Bang, and it just picked up out of nowhere.
Yeah. I can't think of much that I've really look forward to. Like, to me, how come we haven't seen another Bourne Identity? That door's been left open.
Yeah.
The Terminal List, which was an amazing. They kept that pretty close to the books. Jack Ryan, that was really
a good series.
But they've ended it.
Well, it's so rough because like a lot of these shows on Netflix or Amazon or any of these streaming sites, you get 8 to 10 episodes a season,
and it's 2 years,
and then you got to wait 2 years for another one. Like
Witcher was like that.
I'm kind of excited. Mayor of Kingstown just can't release season 3. Which I was shocked that they were able to release it, this soon, because they just finished wrapping up.
Well, so another great one, Game of Thrones.
Yes.
So I never watched Game of Thrones at all while it was going on. Never even remotely was interested. And then I think it was like something, I was sick or something. I was at home for a couple of weeks, and I'm like, well, I might as well binge watch something. Boy, I was straight up balls deep in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, this is the greatest thing in the world. And then they came out with a new one, which was the House of whatever.
House of Dragons.
And I'm like,
see, I never watched the last season of Game of Thrones because I heard it was so horrible.
No.
And it was such a disappointment.
Who
I was
told
like,
you that?
everywhere online just bashed it. And I was like, oh, man, I can't.
I mean, I don't know how you do. I don't know how they did that show, to be honest with you, and without getting like an NC-17 sticker put on it.
Yeah.
But it was pretty. I think it was pretty fantastic. Now, I will always drop more over into like the Shield genre, like the Sopranos. To me, Sopranos, amazing.
You ever watch the TV show Oz?
Yeah.
That was another good one.
That was it was a good one. I just wish that they would kind of bring that whole thing back. That whole,
that type of series,
like gritty drama.
Well, that's like, and people are going to give me crap if I don't mention it. The Wire. You remember The Wire down in Baltimore with the thugs and drug dealers and the cops?
I don't think I ever saw it.
Oh my goodness, The Wire, great series.
Huh? I might check it out. The Wire, huh?
Yeah,
that would be a good one to a rainy weekend. How many seasons?
Oh, they went pretty deep. I want to say maybe 6 or 7 seasons.
Damn,
maybe
that's a lot. That's like that's Sopranos went 6 or 7, right?
I think Sopranos went
longer than that.
Yeah.
Sopranos was so good.
I just didn't like that ending. Because it was like, okay, what happens? You just sit down at a restaurant.
They got burgers and fries.
Like,
come on, man. Like,
you got an FBI. Yeah.
Well, what about the ending to The Shield?
I don't remember the ending to The Shield.
I don't. You know what?
And I really
asked you, I realized I don't. I just remember Mackey.
I remember Vic Mackey and his co-actor, whoever, is the guy that's on Fallout.
Yeah. Oh, he's great.
He was great in the show.
I can't remember his name, but he is such an underrated, amazing actor.
He was in Sons of Anarchy. He's in a lot of stuff that's just completely underrated. But I wish, and I'm shocked that Amazon, Netflix, like none of the big streaming services got The Shield.
They don't?
How do you not have the? Yeah,
so it's just on FX.
Yeah. So I've been looking for The Shield and Prison Break to rewatch both of those. And you can go to Amazon and pay for it, but I'm not about to pay, $19-20 a season. But unfortunately, I think after today, I might have to break down on The Shield and rewatch it.
Dude, I'm almost curious
money
now.
For it.
So you watched Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about that ending?
I like it because they could reopen that up.
How? How are they going to reopen it?
He got hit by a truck. You don't know if he lived or died.
Bruh.
You don't know if he lived or died.
I mean, okay. I guess we can pretend that a semi would, I mean, seriously?
You don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, so what did you think about the entire show? That whole...
it was great.
The
it was
last
good.
4 shows, it felt like when it was leading up to the end, it was just
well, it was great because
right?
then they got involved with the cartels.
Yeah.
The other biker gangs and everything else. The Irish. I think is well written.
Yeah. I thought some of the episodes were so intense that it was like,
well,
especially like
things I've read. They actually had one of the bikers was actually in the Hells Angels.
Oh, no shit.
And I think he was still part of the Hells Angels while filming that, and he was their
consultant
or whatever.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you bring up the Hells Angels. I just finished watching on. I think we have Hulu as our streaming service, but A&E had The Secrets of the Hells Angels. I mean, it's a docuseries, and I'm a nerd for docuseries, but I mean they actually get all some of the presidents to talk, which has never happened before. But it was pretty revealing, and I mean, part of it, for work we look at some of the outlaw motorcycle gangs and stuff like that. But it was cool. It was really well done, and I'm thinking to myself, man, what a crazy life. And if anything, Sons of Anarchy really kind of played that line. It was about as real as you could possibly get for Hollywood,
Well, that's like when we were over in Germany. You remember the 2 biker gangs over in Germany?
Yeah.
What was it? The Mongols and
the Outlaws. No, it was the Hells Angels.
Was it the Hells Angels?
Well, Hells Angels were in Mannheim. That's right, yeah.
So we had...
the Mongols.
The Mongols, and I can't remember the other one.
I think they were the Outlaws.
No, it almost had a like Spanish or Mexican sounding Banditos.
Oh, the Banditos. Yeah,
That's what it was. Mongols and
You're
Banditos.
right, 'cause they had a clubhouse that we would see.
Yeah, because they had a clubhouse, and they used to get into it on a regular basis, which was insane. Seeing that firsthand.
Yeah, that wasn't. I would tell people this, and this is just, don't get into it with a patched biker.
Oh, no.
Bikers. That's the dumbest thing you could possibly do. Pack your ego away. That you ain't winning that.
Well, that's like, because that was the time, Sons of Anarchy was real big, and people were trying to go into these club. I'm like, you gotta be dumber than dog shit to think they're gonna, come in, we're gonna accept you with open arms.
Yeah. Well, that's people. Dude, it's no different than right now. We were just talking about this the other day. Like the people that are walking up to freaking mooses and elks and shit, and they're getting
mauled.
Killed. And they're like, oh my God, well, what did you expect? Like, how dumb are you to think that a 1,200-pound moose ain't going to trample your sorry ass?
Yeah.
What, because you're holding a camera?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he knows you're on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like,
stupidity.
What was it? The Yellowstone? They had the buffalo or whatever. They trampled a bunch of people. And they're all like, oh my God.
There's a water. I'm like, what do you think's going to happen?
Why? Dude, look, you and I are hunters. How many times have we walked up to a deer fully expecting to get kicked right in the face?
Oh, we sit there for 15 to 20 minutes after, waiting to make sure it's dead before we creep up on it.
You get kicked by a doe, and it's nothing that you want to ever relive again. I mean, they kick hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always operated on this theory when it comes to the whole wildlife thing. If you go into their kitchen, expect to get hurt, right? So people that the shark attacks, oh, I don't know why this is happening, because you went into their kitchen. It's like a shark is going to be a shark, right? I mean, listen. Especially me. You think I'm treading on that
ocean? I know you don't like the ocean. I love the ocean.
Listen, I love looking at the ocean. But if it's me and somebody else, a thin person especially, and you put both of us in the fucking ocean, you don't think a shark's like, whoa, some bitch, look at that snack attack. Like, I'm not listen, I spent a lot of time in the oceans growing up and working in the military. I do not need to become a snack.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, as I open up another bottle. So this is the toasted oak. Are you going to finish yours or just look at it?
I'm going to look at it for a little bit longer and enjoy it.
Okay. All right. Well,
I got a lot to do today, so I can't.
Oh, you got responsibilities?
I got responsibilities today, so I can't get too toasted.
So what do you have to do today? Let's talk about this, Daniel.
We're not going to talk about that on the air.
Why?
We're just not going to talk about it.
It's the three little words that are embarrassing?
Yes. Because I got to make sure I make it home.
Why?
So we can handle business.
On?
Anyways.
On?
Safe driving. I'm being a responsible driver. It's summertime, like you said. The cops are out on full force.
I never said that, but I mean...
But you did say it was summertime. And I'm saying the cops are out on full force.
You want to get home so you can get on your blank. Go ahead. Just admit it. It's okay. Don't be ashamed of who you are at the core.
No, I just need to make it home safe. That's all.
So you can play.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're really going to go there. Okay.
So we can get our asses kicked by a bunch of 12-year-olds on Xbox.
Listen, just embrace it at this point. I mean... every weekend, all we do is we get on there and we get our asses beat.
Yeah.
Every weekend. And we think we're good, but we're trash.
Oh, 100%
we're
trash.
Straight trash. And then when we win, we really think we're good. But I got to believe at some point, like, we played against, like, drunk people our age.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the over 40s are all on and they're bumping in the walls and they're, missing you. And I don't know. Hey, it's fun. I could be... doing coke, right? Then I'm playing Xbox.
Yeah.
No shame. Hey, listen, I mean, we're home.
Yeah, we're home. Staying out of trouble.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But listen, everybody, thanks for joining in for this episode. What's we went down kind of the rabbit hole on some of these episodes. Hit us up with what some of your favorite ones were from the what, mid 90s?
Yeah, the 90s.
Oh, Miami Vice. Did they go? No, it ended in the
I think Miami Vice ended in the 80s.
But it was
you can't forget the A-Team. Mr. T, the A-Team.
Oh no, what was the one? Burn Notice. Did you ever watch Burn Notice?
Never watched Burn Notice.
We're diving back. You gotta watch Burn Notice, dude. It's really it was really good. So in any event, hope you enjoyed the episode. Check out Balvenie Double Wood is the one that we reviewed tonight, and if you're interested, the Balvenie the Sweet Toast of American Oak, and hit us up with what you want us to review next. As always, we look forward to kind of bringing you what you want. And until next time, people, stay thirsty, my friends. Cheers.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast of Bullits and Bourbon. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.